Jesus was troubled in spirit and declared, "Very truly I tell you, one of you will betray me." This is the Wednesday of Holy Week. Sometimes it's known as Spy Wednesday because it's the time we recount when Judas made arrangements to betray Jesus to the temple authorities in Jerusalem. When Judas was paid 30 pieces of silver for his information on where Jesus could be found and arrested later on. We've debated over what Judas's motives might have been. Some say he was a thief and greedy. Some say that maybe he was possessed by the devil. Some think that maybe he was doing this to provide or promote his own political agenda to get Jesus to call down his legions of angels and to obliterate the Roman Empire and return the monarchy to Jerusalem. We honestly don't know what Judas's motives were. We just know that for some reason he was willing to betray Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus was aware of this betrayal. Jesus knew what was going on. And if we fast forward to tomorrow, to Maundy, Thursday, we kind of see this thread pick up again. Maundy, Thursday for us is responsible for two great things. One is the story of Jesus kneeling down and washing the feet of his disciples, of taking on the role of servant and to model what servant ministry looked like. The other part of Maundy, Thursday is the Last Supper, that which gave us the Eucharist, that which we believe is the sacrament wherein Christ is present to us in the bread and the wine, and that we experience his presence most fully in this sacrament. But I want to back up a moment to Judas, because I think that there's some Judas in all of us. There are times that we all betray Christ in one way or another. Maybe we don't mean to, maybe we don't want to, but our motives get in the way. Sometimes we betray Christ for the benefit of financial gain, as Judas might have. Maybe we betray Christ because it's not socially acceptable where we are to talk about our religion or our faith. Maybe we betray Christ because we just don't want to get up on Sunday, or because helping our neighbor takes us out of our comfort zone, and we don't like that. And Jesus knows all this. He knows us better than we know ourselves. I think he knows our motives even if we're not sure about it. But then fast forward again to Maundy, Thursday, and the great act of servanthood, where Jesus kneels down and washes the feet of his disciples. And notice that he washes the feet of all the disciples, including Judas. Even Judas was worthy to have his feet washed by Jesus. When I was in graduate school at Xavier University in Cincinnati, one Holy Week, one of the great controversies of the archdiocese was that there were a number of ultra-conservative Roman priests who refused to wash the feet of women on Maundy, Thursday. To wash the feet of women was beneath the dignity of their priesthood. And I find that interesting, since we are called to be servants of the Lord. God loves us. God knows our motivations. He understands why we do what we do. He understands and realizes that we're going to betray Jesus from time to time. But in that servant ministry of love that God has for each of us, we are still worthy for Jesus to come and kneel down and to wash our feet. And in this act of humility to say to us that you are still my beloved child, with whom I am well pleased. You are worthy to have your feet washed, even if you don't always live into the fullness of what it means to be a Christian follower of Jesus. Jesus washes our feet. This year it may be metaphorical or symbolic, since we can't gather for foot washing in our churches. But nevertheless, like Judas, we are worthy to be made clean by Jesus. And he wants to wash our feet. He wants to make us whole. He wants to restore us to fullness of life. I think it was for my 10th anniversary of my ordination, my wife went to some craftsmen at Berea College in Kentucky, a college known for its artistic endeavors. And she commissioned an artist there to create for me a chalice and paten, a ceramic one, for my 10th anniversary. And as the story goes from the potter who did this, that she tried and tried and tried to get the chalice to come out right. And every time she tried, when she fired it, the cup would kind of lean over, and it was never straight. And after a while, she finally had to say to us, this is the way it is, and the cup is going to be off kilter. It's off center. It's not perfect, but it's the best I can do. I think that chalice is symbolic of you and I as Christians. We're not perfect. We're a little off center sometimes. We don't quite live up to the standards that we think we should have. And yet, nevertheless, that chalice was still worthy to hold the bread, or hold the blood of Christ at the Eucharist. And you and I are worthy to hold the Spirit of Christ in ourselves. So you and I may betray Christ. We may sometimes have the wrong motives for what we do. And yet Jesus still comes to us, kneels down, washes our feet, looks up into our eyes and said, my child, I still love you.